안녕하세요 코인캐스트 구독자 여러분, 저는 코인 스터딩 피플 코스피를 운영하고 있는 민인맨입니다. 오늘은 정말 운이 좋게도 포브스 선정 전 세계 100대 부자 중에 57위에 등재된 로버트 그린과 화상 인터뷰를 진행을 할 건데요. 먼저 로버트 그린을 잘 아시는 분도 있고 처음 듣는 분도 계시겠지만, 이분은 유럽에서 코드와이즈라는 스타트업의 설립자이고 유럽에선 굉장히 유명한 자수성가의 아이콘입니다. 여러분이 지금 구글에만 로버트 그린을 치셔도 바로 나올 정도로 유명하신 분이고, 현재 이 회사는 IT와 마케팅 기술을 접목을 해서 빠르게 성장을 했고, 직원 규모가 약 200명 정도 되는 유럽에서 두 번째로 성장세가 빠른 스타트업 회사라고 합니다. 그런데 여러분이 주목하실 점은, 이분이 본인이 어렵게 이룬 회사를 모두 매각을 하고 모든 재산을 현재 암호화폐 시장에 쏟고 있다고 해요. 그래서 오늘은 저희 코인캐스트 구독자분들께 세계 100대 백만장자에 들어가는 사람이 어떤 가치관을 가지고 또 어떤 코인에 투자를 하고 있는지에 대해서 여러분과 함께 알아보도록 하겠습니다. Good morning, Mr.
Hello.
Gryn.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you today?
Good, thank you.
Can you hear me
Can you
well?
hear me all right? I have a new microphone, so I'm just making sure
Oh,
things
yeah, your sounds are crystal clear. That's perfect.
sweet. Excellent.
All right, so let me just introduce myself briefly. This is Mr. Kwon in the Coincast channel, and I'm super excited that you agreed to spend next several minutes with us and talk about the market as well as your Tenset project. So you're a celebrity in Europe, but the Asian audience may not recognize you as the king of startups. Could you introduce yourself closer to our subscribers?
Yeah, sure. First of all, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. And I wouldn't say I'm a celebrity, but I guess in the community of startups and entrepreneurship, I became quite well known, namely because I managed to build what was named the second fastest growing company in Europe. This was a few years back. Yeah, code-wise, we were recognized by Financial Times.
That's right.
It was funny because I wasn't even aware that we were so fast growing until they told us. I was like, oh, really? Wow. Okay. I was just kind of doing my own thing, and that's how it worked out. And then later, as a result of that growth, I became the youngest self-made millionaire on the Forbes 100 richest people in Poland.
Yeah, I've seen
which
that too.
which was kind of a big event, namely for many young people, because that list was full of just old people who made money during the transition from communism to free market economy in the early 90s in Poland. So
That's right.
I became like this proof that it's possible. So that was really great. And since then, I've sold the company, and I've invested in quite a few other startups, and I've been in the crypto space for 4 years now. And having sold my business last year, I'm now 100%. I would say 99% in crypto, because nothing else makes sense. It's the inevitable future. So why waste time doing traditional business?
So what made you decide to 99% participate in this crypto market? Like,
I'll be straightforward with you. I have a pretty bleak view in terms of the direction the world is going in. I think with the current system, the current level of corruption, how broken the capitalistic system is, how greedy Wall Street is, how unequal the distribution of wealth is. Okay. I feel the only ticket to quite literally save the world is cryptocurrencies. It's a tool that can lead to the Great Reset. I believe in my lifetime, I think even in the next 10 years, we could see the collapse of the US dollar. And with that, all the old legacy systems will go. Banking, government will lose power. So, as someone who wants to do good for the world, this is the biggest and most obvious way to change it for the better. And that's why.
Oh, okay. So you're sort of following the worldwide trend of decentralization, right?
I would say so, yeah. Plus, while I was building my business, there was aspects of it I hated. I hated dealing with banks. I hated dealing with lawyers. I I hated, all this bureaucracy. I think it's so unnecessary. It's just the old legacy way of doing business from, 100+ years ago. It hasn't changed.
That's right.
If you want to launch your own crypto startup, you can do it within, 30 minutes if you have
That's right.
Solidity background.
Which
it's
is
incredible.
One paper, right? Yeah, white paper.
Yeah. And you're off, and running. You can list on PancakeSwap, Uniswap, and you don't need to deal with, venture capital. It's phenomenal. I'm surprised more people haven't realized this yet. And, I need to remind myself how early we still are, even though Bitcoin's been around for over a decade. But it's just so exciting because it allows you to do what's most fun, which is just creation.
That's right.
Without all the boring stuff.
So, like, in detail, what projects are you currently involved in?
Yeah, so, when I went 99% into crypto, my first part of it was migrating my fiat assets into crypto. I'm a hardcore believer. Like, I know it's inevitable. It's just a matter of time before it completely takes over, like, the monetary system. Mm-hmm. So I migrated most of my wealth into crypto. And I was, DeFi was very interesting for me, but I didn't necessarily want to be spending like my whole day monitoring it, compounding, doing all this stuff. So I discovered a platform called Celsius.network, which is built by a guy that he invented the technology we're using right now. He invented voice over IP. Like, we're literally talking over his patents. Alex Mashinsky is his name. So when I saw that he had built this like neo crypto bank, that he had succeeded in the past, and this was in the 90s, he had to, take his voice over IP technology and pitch it to telecoms, which were making a killing off of charging us, $4 to $10 a minute on international calls. They didn't want voice over IP. It was free. It was free international calls. So he managed to push that through. So he's already done a battle similar to what he's going to do with Celsius, which is taking on the banks. Mm-hmm. And when I, with tying into what I said earlier, I know crypto will change the world. So seeing someone who's got the experience, has built 3 unicorns in his career, and is now building what could very well be the biggest bank in the world in this decade, I was like, oh, this is great. And he pioneered this concept of earning yield on your crypto assets, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and there's like 40 or 50 other assets. So I was like, this is the obvious solution for my wealth. I'm just going to park it in Celsius, let it earn, for the next 10, 50 years, just in this digital amazing bank where you don't have to think about it. You don't have to worry about the swings of the dollar or whatever. Right. It's just a stable return every single Monday. So to answer your question, that's one project I'm a proud ambassador of. And I'm excited to be an ambassador of it because it's something I use, and it's something I feel everybody should use, because even if you're not a crypto believer, you can earn 10% APY on your stable coins. Like, that's right. Why would you keep it in the bank? Right. The banking deposit industry is worth $100 trillion. There's money just sitting there earning 0 or even negative interest rates, where you could just exchange it to a stable coin, like it's risk-free, and earn 10%, but people don't realize it. So I think it's a great gateway for someone to get into crypto, where you just exchange, say, I don't know, $10,000 of your savings, put it into a stable coin, and just see every Monday that your money is making, it's generating wealth on its own. So yeah, that's an exciting one. And then after that, I started looking for, to apply my experience to other crypto projects. And that's how I came across Tenset and met Jonas, the CEO. Tenset. He ended up flying over to Dubai to meet me, and we hit it off. I saw kind of like a younger version of myself in him. He's a very, very driven person, just like me. He wants to leave a legacy behind. He knows this is a technology that can make the world a better place. So anything that you build in crypto is essentially, assuming it's not a rug pull or a scam, which there's obviously a lot of. It's anything you build in crypto is accelerating this adoption that we need. This is the most important thing: awareness and adoption. So, anyone holding a coin, anyone exchanging fiat for crypto, that's a political statement saying no thank you to the old legacy system. Right. You're essentially devaluing the dollar by exchanging it to crypto and taking away its power slowly. So yeah, so I'm a strategic advisor and business angel of Tenset, an ambassador for for Celsius, and I'm looking to get involved in other projects, and I'm actually dabbling with building my own right now, which is very exciting for me because, like I said, I get to build without all the crap, all the legal bureaucracy, accounting, just like focus on the product, which is what I'm the best at. So
yeah. So I've done some research on this issue, and I'm pretty sure you're familiar with the term aggressively deflationary token with a smart staking system. So it sounds to me sounds a little bit complicated. So could you please clarify what that means?
Sure. So it sounds complicated, but in reality, it's the simplest, the most beautiful kind of smart contract.
Okay.
What it allows you to do is, and in Tenset's case, it allows you to purchase any amount of Tenset, hold it on your wallet, and just by holding it on your wallet, you're taking part in the staking process and getting these dividends paid out to you in real time. You can actually see those tokens kind of racking up in your wallet in real time. There's a tax that traders and holders pay anytime they buy or sell. It's a 2% of it earned automatically.
So
deflate.
So it's something like earning interest from the token, right?
I guess so. Yeah, you can think of it as interest. It's not necessarily generating yield on the token. It's receiving rewards just for holding. So say there's a buyback, which happens quarterly with Tenset. They'll buy back a bunch of tokens and burn them, and that process, releases a bunch of other tokens that are distributed equally among all the holders. But every day, there's tens of thousands of tokens that are just distributed to all the holders, and it's a phenomenal thing because typically before this passive RFI mechanism, it's called, was kind of, let's say, invented, people would have to stake a single asset and kind of farm from a single asset staking pool or something like that. They maybe have to compound daily. Here, you don't touch it. You just hold it. It's magnificent. And since that time, a bunch of other kind of meme-like tokens have put in a very aggressive tax, like Shiba or SafeMoon and things like that. But there's no actual substance behind it. It's more of just a marketing move, which is also fascinating to observe. But yeah, that's what it looks like.
Okay, so let's go straight to the technical aspects. So what are the core benefits of Tenset? And in your opinion, why this might be a good investment opportunity for the Korean investors?
Sure. So, I like to think of Tenset, initially it was pitched as a sort of ETF 2.0, which is kind of like a basket of assets. It's far more sophisticated than that. We're kind of looking to position it as an ETF and hedge fund / investment fund, where all the funds that were raised from the ICO will be distributed into different assets of different risk profiles. The one I'm really excited about is making it kind of this powerful investment vehicle that will allow the holders to partake in different projects without actually needing to partake. You just need to hold. So it's a long-term play. I think this is what people don't necessarily realize. Crypto can spoil us in terms of 100%, 200% returns on a 24-hour period.
That's right.
We're in it for the multi-year period. Keep in mind that the tokenomics, we started with 210 million tokens, and they're going to continue burning down to 2.1 million. That's going to be a multi-year process. And at the point they get to 2.1, the price of the token could be, theoretically, it could be even $10,000 for a token.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if it's like a 10 billion market cap, it'll be like $10,000, I think, or 5,000. It's astronomical numbers, and we're talking about maybe a scale of 5-10 years, which is not that long when you're thinking of these 1,000x returns. So people tend to get hung up on the daily activity and forget that there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes. So if you're a serious investor who's not just trying to jump from coin to coin, trying to extract percentage here and here, it's a great coin just to hold for the long term. for it to be part of your whole portfolio, and just let that passive staking do its own thing. You don't need to worry about a thing. Just keep your wallet safe. And a kind reminder to everyone. Sometimes I need to remind myself that the most profitable people in crypto are the ones who hold. The traders,
that's right.
90+% of them, they lose money over the long term.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
Emotions have no room in this space.
Yeah.
And as humans, we're just not good at trading, because you'll see one coin going up, another one down, you dump this one, pump this one. And in the end, you're going to take a risky bet and lose too much. Then
that's right.
Yeah. We know the story.
I know. So when you say smart backing and burning of tokens, why does this matter and why is this so important to know?
Well, the beauty of smart contracts is, it brings to the table something that didn't really have the right to exist in the old legacy system. If stocks on the stock market were somehow deflationary, that would be a magnificent thing. But how the hell do you do that? So, a decreasing supply of something that's already finite, it forces the price to go up always in the long term. And so, you can consider this tax, a 2% tax. Say someone comes in new to Tenset, you can consider it like an entry tax. You pay this to take part of be part of the club, and then later you pay it to exit and maybe take your profit. It's you can think of it as, instead of signing all these papers that you would at a real hedge fund, to become a client of theirs. Right. This is just a simple way of keeping things simple, and that's what I said at the beginning. That's the beauty of crypto. It really allows you to program the smart contracts in a way that it's so simple to take part in any project.
That's right.
It's just, it's fantastic.
So it's accessibility to engage is quite
exactly
easy.
It's leveling barriers to entry to the absolute minimum. I mean, right. You still have to learn how to use Uniswap and whatnot. And with time, I think it's going to become ubiquitous, like daily life. People will just be obvious. You just have your portfolio on your phone and just living your life, and your wealth is just generating. It's doing the work.
That's a great system. Yeah. So during the ICO, the Tenset raised over 6,000 ETH Ethereum. So this is a huge amount of funds. As far as I'm concerned, it is a record for 2021 from all DeFi projects, right? So
amazing. I believe it is.
So I'd like to ask you, in what investments do you allocate those funds?
Sure. So a fun fact that Jonas told me, that if not of the Ethereum bottlenecks and the fees, that 6,000 Ethereum would have been raised in 12 minutes. But because there was some hiccups, Ethereum was not scaling well. We had to prolong the process. But it's just fascinating to think that you can raise what now is worth, I guess, around $24 million. You could raise it in a matter of minutes. It's mind-blowing. But to answer your question, Jonas decided to initiate the allocation of assets with the zero risk assets, such as stable coins. And the reason for this, some people are like, well, it's not that interesting. Stable coins are stable. We want high returns. But the reason for it is simple, is because he wanted to get a foundation and to make sure that the costs of running the company are just there for the whole life of the company. So, so that's the point of it. And stable coins can give you a return of 10% plus on a yearly basis, which is phenomenal. The next investments are going to be going up the scale of risk, and it will continue to do so. And that's up to Jonas, because he's a crypto OG, so he knows what he's doing. But you can expect the next following investments to be more and more high risk profile, but also high return profile.
Okay. So next question might be a little bit controversial for you, but if you don't want to answer, then it's okay. So I'm pretty sure we all know about the case of Dan Leimer, where he left the project of EOS, and that caused a huge drop in the price of EOS market. So I believe a majority of investors at that point in time suffered from this drop. So in the Korean investors' perspective, our biggest concern is for you to leave, right? So if you don't mind, I want your own words regarding this issue. I mean, the probability of you exiting the Tenset project, given the fact that you are such an influential figure in this project, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure, that's an absolutely fair question. Look, two things. I sold my business last year. I don't feel I need more money. There's a point in your life where you're just not driven.
You're already
money,
in
right?
Forbes, right? So there's no need for.
Yeah. It's like people don't realize when you can afford everything, you stop wanting anything. Like you don't need material objects. So there's nothing else I need to buy, so to speak. My tokens were unlocked. What was it, like last month or end of April, something like that. And I saw that Jonas decided to lock the team tokens for another year. So I'm like, hey, lock mine up as well. If that gives people like confidence, do it. Like I don't need it. I don't want to sell them. Just lock them up. So they're like on the blockchain, I think, in a tool called Lock.finance. You could see all my tokens locked there.
Yeah.
It's just there. And that's the other beauty of crypto that I guess we didn't really talk about, is that transparency. Like there's nothing you can hide really.
That's right.
So yeah, so I locked mine for up to another 12 months. Happily do so, and I might even extend it later. But it's this legacy that I mentioned, that I'm not in it for the returns. I'm in it to help accelerate the adoption, the awareness, because I think it's the most important thing that I could do in my post, let's call it, traditional entrepreneurial life, is use that experience to bring in as many millions or hundreds of thousands of people as I can into the space, because the quicker we do it, I think the better a shot we have at saving the world. That's how I see it. So, cryptocurrencies are going to displace this petrodollar that's destabilizing the world. And that's all I'm trying to do. So you won't see me ever leaving the crypto space. I'll probably be in it to the rest of my life as advisor or whatever you want to call it. And you'll see me in other projects, but I'll always be there with Tenset because I have an agreement with the Jonas, and I would not want to, break that in any way. But beyond that, it's just, it goes beyond the money. So, yeah.
I can definitely tell that you have such a confidence in the project as well as the crypto market. Yeah. So approximately, please go ahead.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to add that I'm very grateful also to Jonas, because he kind of brought me in to the more active kind of role where I really get to use all my experience and skills. So I'm just grateful to be part of Tenset. It's a really exciting journey. And please keep in mind, like, we launched, 6 weeks ago on Uniswap. We just started.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people have high expectations because they're used to seeing like these insane returns, but just be patient, and I promise you, we will deliver. We will continue to deliver.
So no worries to investors. Yeah, no worries.
No worries to investors, guys. Like, we haven't even listed on a centralized exchange yet. Like, this is all Uniswap.
That's right.
This is really remarkable that it's just on Uniswap.
Yeah, that's a good point. Approximately when can we expect Tenset token to be listed in the exchange?
So this month.
This month.
We will see month we will see some action. We've had some of the biggest exchanges contact us, and so it's been kind of a process to make sure we make the best decision in the interest of the community. We're not in a rush. Like I repeat, we've been 6 weeks since our public launch, so there's no need to rush things. Like, I know a lot of people would love us to be listed, here and there right away. But that's not necessarily the people we're looking to please, because we're looking to please the long-term believers, the long-term holders. And that's what we will do.
So you're seeing the long-term, like the long journey. Okay.
Yeah.
So lastly, could you please forecast to our subscribers about the market condition for next month?
I mean, I'm most certainly not a financial advisor, but I would, for next month, I try to look at the perspective of like minimum a year, maybe 10 years, because that's what I know is required to kind of turn the world upside down and back on the right way up. You see like Elon Musk doing what he did. I don't know if that was him or his board they didn't sell the Bitcoin. I don't think it's anything to worry
Yeah,
about.
I've
It's probably
seen the tweet. Yeah, was it
probably some business decision, or
Yeah.
maybe he's just having fun again, or maybe he's gonna take Doge as a payment option for Tesla. Who knows what the hell he's doing? I wouldn't worry about that. It's just one dude. Mass adoption is about at least 50% of the world, I would say, using crypto or Bitcoin or whatever. That's what we're after. And you got to keep in mind, every single day, there's thousands and thousands of new people coming into the space. Right now, there's still like a lot of uncertainty with the stock market, and will it crash? Will Bitcoin go down with it? I don't think so this time. I think it's unpegged from kind of the traditional asset classes. So all you need to do is say, I'm going to hold these assets that I believe in for at least a year, maybe 10 years. And then you'll probably be one of the most, well-off people in your group of friends who maybe are trading on a daily basis. I think, crypto can either give you freedom or it can enslave you. You see a lot of people who get enslaved by the numbers, who stare at the graphs every single day.
Yeah, right.
Like, it doesn't really change your life. You don't need to cash out today. You don't need to buy, a car today. Look at the longer picture. So zoom out to the, month, to the year, to the 10-year picture. This technology is going to take over, and it's just a matter of time. So to answer your question, I'd rather not do any predictions, because I don't want to anyone to do anything irrational because of anything I say, but just hold what you have and make sure that you believe what you hold in, because when it does dip, and it will, it's easier to just keep holding. That's the trick to the whole game, is figure out how to keep your fingers off of the assets you've already purchased, because more likely than not, they're gonna quintuple in value, then go 10x, and then 100x in 10 years, and then you have more money than you will ever need in your whole life. So what is your actual goal? Like retirement, freedom, or do you actually, or maybe you're addicted to crypto? That's also a possibility. So just be patient. And if you have time, go out there and build something. That's the best thing you can do.
When you say build, it's like introduce a coin or develop a coin?
Yeah, launch your own coin, tokenize some business. There's so many things you can do. Or launch an educational platform or YouTube channel where you bring on people who want to get into crypto but don't know how. I use my LinkedIn. I have like 40,000 people following me on LinkedIn. I use it to kind of check what professional people think about Bitcoin. A lot of them want to purchase crypto, but they have no idea how. They're afraid of it. There's a lot of room to educate people, to onboard your friends, your family. And Tenset and Celsius Network are perfect platforms because they're passive. You do it once and then you just leave it forever. So it's a great way to learn just the general concept of crypto, and so that's pretty cool.
So you're not only working for the Tenset project, but also you're working for the crypto market in whole, right?
Yeah, that's how I see my involvement in Tenset anyway. It's just really to help raise awareness, to hasten adoption, and to move this whole ship forward. We're all on the same boat, right? We're all one big crypto family. There's degens, there's traditional investors. We're all in it together because we all believe in it. So anything we do in the right direction is beautiful. And that's what it's all about, I think.
All right. So thank you so much, Mr. Gryn, for your time today. And it was such a pleasure for me to have you here today and have a chat. So I wish you best luck in all things, as well as your project and your company, Codewise. Thank you very much for today.
Thanks for your time. Take care.
Thanks for your time. Bye. 네, 여러분 영상 잘 보셨나요? 사실 인터뷰 제의가 들어왔을 때 제가 가장 고민을 했던 부분이 구독자분들이 과연 가장 궁금해 하시는 게 뭘까를 좀 고민을 많이 해봤어요. 사실 투자자 입장에서 가장 궁금한 부분은 아무래도 로버트 그린이라는 어떤 영향력이 큰 사람이 끝까지 나가지 않고 이 텐셋이라는 프로젝트에 남을 것인가잖아요. 저분이 이제 돌연 사임을 해버리면 이오스 프로젝트에서 댄 라이머가 나갔을 때처럼 여러분들이 만약 텐셋에 투자를 하셨을 때 가격의 이제 하락 요인이 될 건 분명하기 때문에 제가 그런 좀 어떻게 보면 민감할 수 있는 질문을 드렸었고, 다행히도 로버트 그린님은 끝까지 함께 하신다고 합니다. 제가 뭐 특정 코인을 추천드리는 건 절대 아닙니다. 여러분께서 만약 저평가된 코인을 찾고 계신다면 한 번쯤 텐셋을 공부해보시고 또 고려해보셔도 좋을 것 같습니다. 저희 코스피에서 텐셋 코인을 조금 더 공부해보는 시간도 가질 테니까 저희 라이브도 기대해 주셨으면 좋겠고, 오늘 이렇게 해외 암호화폐 관련 유명하신 분과 인터뷰를 또 해봤는데, 더욱더 확실해진 것은 앞으로 우리가 투자를 하는 이 시장이 더욱 커질 것이다 정도로 정리를 하면 될 것 같습니다. 오늘 끝까지 영상 봐주셔서 너무 감사합니다, 여러분. 더 좋은 컨텐츠로 돌아오겠습니다.